I'm glad you asked. I think as a new teacher in the field, I'd have to say that I think my education has been very up to date in the use of the latest technologies that are available to schools. During my time in teacher education, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work with a multitude of educational technologies to support ESOL students or to push students forward in computational thinking. Computational thinking being an important part of making children problem solvers in today's age. These are just a few of the major implications that I think this committee could learn more about, and there are many other ways that technology can be used for differentiation in the regular education classroom and also in ESC, which applies to every teacher in the school. As a part of the committee, I would share the ways that technology can be useful for extending learning beyond the classroom. For instance, there are programs that involve parents in the student's schooling. A teacher can use varying forms of communication tools, which can be a great way to hear from other people in the community or even in other countries. I would definitely work with the committee to look into the many resources that can help build students' engagement and getting them thinking on a global scale about the work that they do. I also feel like it's important to discuss meaningful implementation and integration of technology. It is true that technology can find many places in the classroom. It can find many places for use in the classroom and in the curriculum, but I think that oversaturation of technology can be just as bad as a lack of technology. I don't think that technology should necessarily be forced into education. And I think it would be the job of this committee to make sure that teachers know what overuse looks like. A teacher also needs to know what meaningful use looks like. An example of that could be a large project built around a tech tool where the tool served to enhance the student's learning, engagement, and experience. As a whole, my knowledge of education technology integration will allow me to help guide discussions on the committee. To facilitate technology integration in our school, I would begin our first meeting by discussing faculty members' views on technology integration to help disband any misconceptions. And from there, I think it's important to provide faculty with the appropriate resources to ensure their understanding of how they will use technology in their classrooms. And additionally, teachers will need a meeting on how to teach internet safety to their students, as well as how to get their classrooms ready for technology integration. And throughout the year, I would like to hold seminars on how staff can most effectively use technology in a manner that will be meaningful to students. As a committee, I think that we should be searching for ways to further our faculty's knowledge of assessing and use within the classroom by teachers to ensure that it is beneficial to our students. I think it is a common concern among many teachers when we bring new technology into the classroom. Student safety is the most important thing to consider when we talk about using technology, and it should be something that is taught. There are online resources, modules, and lessons, and some videos created to teach students and teachers about being safe with their personal information. I think it is the responsibility of the teacher to practice using a certain program and to research it before turning their students loose with it. And before using a new tool in the classroom, there should not be any way for the student's identity to be compromised. And the teacher should have explored any loophole for the students to be using the technology inappropriately. The teacher should also be strictly monitoring any technology usage in the classroom. Although many students are responsible and will only do what they're supposed to be doing, it is necessary for teachers to always be aware of what their students are doing and to ensure that they are having a safe online experience and that they are in a safe online environment. It would also be highly beneficial for the county or school to make a student safe search engine to block any unnecessary and inappropriate content. If a student's computer blocks a site that is inappropriate, then a teacher can take over and allow them to have access to that site for educational purposes. However, these engines tend to be highly effective at blocking specific content. Among the safety measures listed above, the biggest component of this is expressing the importance of internet safety to our students and making sure that we take the necessary measures to ensure them. Overall, safety with technology is very manageable and something that teachers are very capable of handling. Let me start by answering the question, is this something that we should take seriously? We are moving quickly forward. Let me start by answering, Let me start by answering the question, is this something that we should take seriously? We are quickly moving forward in our advancement in technology, and almost every job has a component of technology. And almost anything that is produced today had technology somewhere in the production process. So that idea that students need to learn to be producers with technology is just the reality of the world that we live in. The act of making things and creative design is something that should be taken extremely seriously, even in the early years of a child's education. When a student is a producer with technology, it simply means that they are able to create things with their knowledge and their knowledge of technology. This is often aided with the use of design tools and various programs, but the students need to see that what they are learning in school allows them to make something useful. By making technology integration meaningful, the students will automatically become designers and makers with it. The meaningful integration allows the students to get creative and create things through the use of technology where they are ultimately creating a non-traditional product. This confirms the importance of using technology for more than just simply computer time. As educators, we must strive to make each piece of implemented technology important and allow it to provide students with things that they would not normally experience. Now, I think that global education is something that is very attainable for teachers in today's classrooms. Given the vast number of resources, communication tools, and virtual tools that we have access to, it is much easier to give students a perspective outside of the four walls of their classroom. Global education is simply the act of taking education out into the world with varying scales of reach. Extending education beyond the community in the classroom could mean working on a collaborative project with another school. And that other school could be in the same district or in another country. I feel that global education is an important component of education in today's world, as we need students who are developing as global citizens. Global education in the classroom allows students to have a far more diverse experience throughout elementary school, while having encounters that they may not have previously had the opportunity to have based on their geographic location or their socioeconomic status. To implement global education in an effective manner, an educator must make sure that what they are teaching can be applied to the world outside of the classroom.